Today's a special one. I found a new copy of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets for the Game Boy Color. Now, out of all of the Harry Potter adaptation, film to game iterations that were made for the Harry Potter films, the Game Boy Color Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone was my favorite, probably because it was a role-playing game. Really cool. If you're a fan of turn-based RPGs, then the original Harry Potter game for the Game Boy Color was a really great game. And something that was really cool about it was almost more of an adaptation of the book, the Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone, whether you're from the U.S. or just about anywhere else in the world. Is that the game was actually more tailored to the book storyline in comparison to the film. I remember there were a bunch of parts in the game that were literally based on certain chapters in the book, and they weren't even discussed in the film. So it's pretty cool. Here's the actual game cartridge itself. Obviously, I guess this game didn't sell very well in the Game Boy Color because I was able to get a new copy of it for like under $10. Here's the manual. Let's see if I can go through it real quick. Controls. Oh my gosh, Game Boy Color. Good days, good days. Dare to return to Hogwarts. But yeah, I'm not even joking. Like, these are really good games. The first one was really surprisingly great, and I just know the second one's going to be just as good. I mean, seriously, Harry Potter, in my opinion, should have been a role-playing game versus an action-adventure, which is what the console iterations of the games were. I know that, I think it was the fourth Harry Potter game, which was the Goblet of Fire, was the one that kind of changed it into kind of like an extremely linear action game. At the time of the game's release, there were like a bunch of really popular games that were released they were I don't know what you would call it, but they were like built off like this game style where you'd have several characters on screen and you could switch between characters. Every character did something really specific, and they allowed you to traverse to the different levels and get through different parts of the levels. I mean, Sonic Heroes was like that, Shrek 2 was like that, and it just kind of followed that style gameplay. And then from Harry Potter in the Order of the Phoenix all the way to sorry, that was all of it. Everything else is just in French and Spanish. From the Order of the Phoenix all the way to Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 2, they've just been like literally third-person shooter games, utilizing the wand as like a gun. So they've changed dramatically. The first 3 games on consoles were action adventures, but the Game Boy Color games, which is only based on the first 2 films and arguably books, were RPGs. We were turn-based RPGs. If you like games like Final Fantasy, you would fit right at home with these. Yeah. And also the first Game Boy, the third one on the Game Boy Advance, which was actually obviously Prisoner of Azkaban, was not an action adventure because the first 2 that were released on the Game Boy Advance were actually action adventures. But the third one was more of a sequel to this game, The Chamber of Secrets, because the third game on the Game Boy Advance was an RPG. So if you like the RPG style gameplay, then Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Harry Potter and Chamber of Secrets, and Harry Potter... Oh, sorry. Let me rephrase that. If you like the RPG iterations of video games, then I recommend Harry Potter and Sorcerer's Stone on Game Boy Color, Harry Potter, Chamber of Secrets on Game Boy Color, and Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban on the Game Boy Advance. And that's unfortunately, the only Harry Potter we have to this date in a role-playing form. Thanks for watching this unboxing, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it.